you something. I just thought about that.
That was our first ever when we decided, okay, the podcast is cool, but we need some merch. We need something. Y'all, your event, man, was the first event that we ever did. You know, this setup of putting our merch out there.
Let's go. Yeah, man. First time we ever
It's on YouTube. Matter of fact, it's on YouTube. Yeah. We did a vlog.
See, you got to find that reel there and put with it.
And then spin it.
Yeah, you got to put that with this, man.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
we did a couple of
interviews
interviews there and stuff like that.
That's dope.
And we ended up making a little money that day, too.
Man,
what it's supposed to be.
What it's supposed to be. Yeah, man. So, just appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, man, we walk the same halls, man, and probably had a couple of the same teachers. You know what I'm saying? So, just appreciate you, man, for coming. I know we had some back and forth scheduling trying to get it together, but divinely, we here today. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters. You're doing great things, fam. I don't know, man, if you ever just get to sit down and just soak in it, bro. But between you and my other guy, I can't think of his name, we used to work together downtown. He was a security guard.
Jay.
Yes, Jay. Yeah. Between you and Jay, man, y'all doing the thing, bro. Y'all doing the thing, man. You naturally being the voice, and then him being kind of the behind the scenes guy. Cause I talked to him, I was like, man, I never see you, bro. Like, what you do? He told me, you know how he used to feel it, and I was like, man, y'all doing the thing, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't. Yeah, man. Black Men Vent 2. Dun-dun-dun. I'm excited, man. I hope you're excited. I've been saying this a lot, man, and since we in the new year, I'm gonna say it into this year. If you woke up this morning, you winning. So why you complaining?
Yeah.
That's been my thing, and in 2025, that's gonna be my thing.
Yeah, man.
If you woke up this morning,
got another shot at this thing, man.
Why are you complaining, man?
Yeah.
Let's rock out, guys, man. New year for Black Men Vent 2, man. We are excited, man, to be a part of you guys 2025. Pops, what we looking forward to in this new year?
2024, we made an agreement among ourselves, man, to try to be more visible in our community, and we was able to do that. But we're going to ramp it up another level, man. You liable to see us in Kroger, Publix, man, outside the food chain line, outside the, unemployment line. You liable to see us anywhere, man, trying to represent the network, man. Trying to help brothers, man, get a voice that don't have a voice. That's what we out there for, man. So, I'm looking forward to doing better than what we did last year. So we started the last year. We're going to ramp it up another level this year.
Definitely, man. 2024, we were everywhere. We were everywhere, man. Everywhere that we could touch the lives, man, of black men and just anybody and everybody, man, when you talking about mental health.
Yes, sir.
So 2025, man, we right back to it, guys. Oh, I forgot this pause. We the only, right?
ONLY. You can't spell.
Yeah. That's still the same last time I checked. Only Black Father and Son podcast in the state of Tennessee, man. That may not mean something to you.
Yes, sir.
But that means something to us, man. And we are excited to be a part of you guys' week. I'm going to shut up, man. I'm still talking too much. I was talking too much in 2024. I'm talking too much now. It's all about the guests, man. And I'm excited to bring the guest that we have on today's platform, guys. Man. He is a true titan in Tennessee, man. He has... You've seen him. You've seen him. You just didn't know you've seen him. But you've seen him, man. If you are in the culture, about the culture, and a part of the culture, then you have to have heard of the Nashville Black Market.
Yes, sir.
You have to have heard of it, man.
If you look, man,
they
say this all the time about turning your black card. If you in Nashville and you've never heard of or never been to the Nashville Black Market,
give it to me.
We need to see your card.
Give it to me.
We need to see it because it might be outdated.
Give it to me.
We might need to see your card so we can update you. You know what I'm saying?
It's expired, man. Presenting the some, introducing the others. Out East native, one of the co-founders of the Nashville Black Market, the Nashville Black Market Studio. Whatever it is, being black and being Nashville, this brother got something to do with it. Presenting something, introducing the others. My good friend, good brother, Mr. Carlos Partee. Big dog, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I appreciate y'all having me on here tonight, man. First of all, I want to say congratulations to y'all brothers for doing this. This is really big. This is huge. Black Man Vent. This is an amazing platform. Continue to do what y'all doing as well. So
thank you, man.
Appreciate y'all having me on.
Appreciate that, man. Yes, sir. We appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. Just continuing to, man, try to do what you do, man. I think we're all on the same path of servicing the culture in any way that we can, man, however way that we can. And that's just a testament to anybody listening, man. In 2025, man, do what you do and do it well. You know what I'm saying? Don't look at the left lane or the right lane. If you're doing it with your heart and you're doing it with a passion, don't look left, don't look right. Do what you do and do it well and just serve the culture.
Try not to get distracted, man, because you can easily get distracted from your purpose because you worry about the next brother's purpose. That's what's See, I'm about to get into our thing.
Yeah.
That kind of what stops us from doing what we're gonna talk about.
That's it. Yeah. So me and Pops finna shut up, man. Let's get into it. Carlos, man. For those that do not know who you are, brother, let's get into the first things first. Let's talk about. I call it the scholastic timeline. So we're gonna go elementary. We're gonna roll the clock back a little bit. Middle school.
Okay.
High school.
Okay.
College. And we'll just put that all together, man, of just walking us through, man, your development, and then we'll get into more of this great conversation.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, you taking me back.
I roll the clock back.
Roll it back. I gotta think. I gotta rack my brain. All right, so you want to go back to when I was in the daycare with me? Nah.
Hey, if you remember it. You remember.
Nah. I went to Hood Jackson in Montessori. Started off there. Ended up graduating. I was in part of one of the first class at Hood Jackson as well, so it was really cool to be a part of that. Then went to continue my education, middle school at Margaret Allen. Another Montessori. It was like an extension of Hood Jackson. I don't know if it continued or if it worked out, but we went there for that first year that they opened. That was really cool. Then transferred to East Middle. And
East Middle.
Yeah, East Middle. Yeah. Shout out to my East Eagles, man. But I started there with 6th grade on to probably like my 10th grade, 10th, 11th grade year. I transferred. I went to BA for a semester, and then I transferred out of BA into Cane Ridge. Then I came back to East, finished up my senior year there. That's high school. College, I was supposed to go play ball at a few colleges, didn't work out, ended up quitting. Ended up at, what school did I end up at? I was supposed to go to so many. Ended up at MTSU, just being a regular student. And was commuting back and forth, had some really great times out there. And then ended up going to Nashville State to kind of finish up some college. So,
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool,
so
man.
that's my scholastic career, you
Yeah,
know.
I love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a good journey, man. Because it seemed like you had some different experiences. When I was listening when you said about the high school thing, you jumped around and came back to East, man. So how was it, man? You know, that just hit me. How was it when you went to them other schools and then you came back to East? What was that like?
It was different, because it was just kind of first of the time kind of doing that, being able to kind of transition like that. Those other schools, they were actually cool. Met some really cool people there, some really good friends. I personally, my heart wasn't in it to stay there at the schools, but I should have. You know, just being young and dumb, you just kind of like you want to be, making them choices on your own. Yeah. So, in reality, the other choices could have been better, but you know, it is what it is. But like I said, it's a part of the lesson, it's a part of the journey.
Yes,
it's
sir.
some of the stuff that I learned.
Yes,
and,
sir.
Like I said, I acquired friends, memories along that path and that way. So it ain't no harm, no loss.
Yeah, man. And you said the key word, lessons. You got some lessons there, and you take them further, man. And those lessons, whether we know it or not, sometimes we try to figure that stuff out, man. But it's one of them things where those lessons mold us into being the men that we supposed to be according to God, man. So the man that you are right now was a result of some of those lessons that you learned.
100%.
Absolutely, man. I want to get into, man, just naturally talking about your parents. I mean, this great man and yourself had to come from somewhere, man. So can we talk about moms and naturally us being a father and son platform, man? Let's talk about pops and how they made you who you are.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I got a real strong village. I was raised by my moms. That's my girl. And I was raised by my great grandmother, my grandmother, my aunts. Not too many male figures in my life, not too many male figures in my family. I had an uncle that looked out a lot. He was one of my great uncles. He kind of put me on the path of entrepreneurship, I can say, because it was, in a sense, I was going in a different light, in a different way, and he kind of directed me towards entrepreneurship without me even really realizing and knowing. He just had this sense of boss about him, and it just kind of intrigued me. But you know, I had some really great family, really great support.
For sure, man. I think one thing you saying, we gonna get into the conversation for sure is the village. You know,
I heard him say that. That hit me.
It's unity in the village.
Man,
you
come
know
on.
what I'm saying?
Come on.
And we need to get back to that.
Yes,
you know what I
Lord.
mean?
Yes,
I think
Lord.
I told a friend of mine, Carlos, that we are the last, I described it, belt to ass generation, because our parents for sure gave it to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if we don't give it to our kids, if we don't be that village, if we don't be that representation, you know what I'm saying, we in a tough spot with the children, man. We definitely in a tough spot. And that's something I spin to you, man, just naturally. Where I'm in the Metro Nashville Public Schools setting, if you will. And you see some stuff, man. These kids, man, they different.
Yeah,
what do you
say that again, bro?
Yeah.
Me and my wife say it all the time. They different.
They different.
They different, man.
They different, man.
Yeah,
what can you
man.
say, man? Just question off the top of my head, man. What is to look forward to with the children of today? You know what I'm saying? And how can you, with the Nashville Black Market, with your influence, with your leadership, find some type of way, man, to just keep them engaged, keep them locked in?
Yeah. Man, these kids are different. And I say that because just like you working in Metro, I worked in Metro. I still kind of have some ties working in Metro with kids. And I've been doing this since I graduated.
Cool.
So,
That's cool.
They different, man. I got kids that went on to do some really great things. I had some kids that done had they slips and they falls and they tumbles. Had some kids, end up on TV. Had some kids that end up getting scholarships, making it to different places in their career and sports. But I think the biggest thing is just having accountability. I think as a child or just as an adult in general, you need an accountability partner. And somebody that can hold you accountable for your actions, and somebody that can kind of help you and guide you and direct you towards the light. We all gonna have our times, our troubles. We all gonna have that little devil on the shoulder. Like, you just gotta have somebody that's locked in with you, direct, that can kind of help you in those moments and times when you feel like you don't got nobody. Some of the kids, they feel like they're not. They just feel like nobody understands them, quote unquote, at times, and it sucks to feel that way. But I think it's just a gap in between generations. It's like we got this generation, we got this generation, and we're looking for this void to fill in between. But it's like if we don't understand one another, we'll never feel it. And so like it's hard to reach and touch and I rephrase it. It's hard to connect with kids. It is like very hard to connect with them, especially in this day and age. You got so many social media factors, like their mind and their brain. It's like they microwave babies. Ever since they want it right then, they want it right now. It's delayed gratification. And so if you can teach kids that like responsibility and that with time and with patience and endurance, you'll be able to kind of get to where you want to go in life. But it's not gonna happen like right then and right now. So it's like, sometimes they gotta bump their head and they gotta see it for themselves. You hate to say that, you hate to see them do that, but in a sense, that's where we came from, and that's how we learned. Now, in this day and age, you got a lot of factors against you, and so like you don't really get as many chances and opportunities to mess up as you used to when you were our age or when we back then. And so now, it's just, you gotta reach them how you can reach them. So if it's through a platform, it's through rap, it's through music, or if it's through clothing, or if it's through whatever, however you engage with them, you gotta engage with them and catch them when you can and while you can. And who's not to say when they leave from you, they're gonna do something else, but it's about what you do when you have them in the time and moment. And so it's like setting those roles and those examples for them. So, because at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they want to do. So that's one thing that I can say about these kids nowadays. They are so independent. They're like fast forward thinking. Like
so independent.
Yeah, they think they like you could just be in the conversations at the end. They're thinking so much further ahead than we were. Or at least some of the kids that we grew up with were like, they just advanced. So you just got to be able to kind of catch them where you can. And so like, whether it's through some of the events or whether it's through mentorship or whether it's through interns. I mean, that's just how it's gonna go. It's like you want to save them all, you want to be able to help them all, but you can't. It's gonna be up for the next person, or it's gonna be the sister, or the next. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else to kind of instill and help the next child or the next one, because you can't do it all. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to save all these children. So it's like you got to be able to kind of connect with the ones that you can connect with, and hopefully that builds, like you said, the domino effect. It helps the next one. It helps the next one. You know, so.
I think you're right, man. You know, it's one of them each one teach one type of deal, man. Because you're right, you can't reach them all, man. But the ones that are in your realm of influence, you want to make sure you influence them in a positive way, man. Because what they get from you, they gonna take that with them. They gonna share it with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that whatever influence you have over a young person, man, you want to use that in a positive way. And so that's where we have to be really careful about how we walk when we find these young cats, man. Because we see them doing things, you like, okay, where they get that? They got it from somebody. You know what I'm saying? They got that from somewhere, man. From some outlet, person, some kind of way, they got that instilled in them, and now they acting it out. Man.
Man, let's get into the conversation, man, of how the Nashville Black Market began. I am very, very interested to know the idea, the thoughts. Was it a certain group of people? Then you had to cut a couple people off because they ideas went. You know, I said, what was the? If you can, give me the whole.
Just the brainchild.
Give me the whole brainstorming journey, man. Because from wherever it was on paper to now, again, man, you're doing your thing.
Yes, sir.
Love to hear about it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. 2017. I believe 2017. Me and my business partner Javon Jones. We were literally just talking. I had a clothing brand at the time, still do, Casual, etc. He has a clothing brand, can't complain. And we were just looking for a space to do our pop-up shops. I wanted a brick and mortar location. I wanted to have a space and a place where people can come to me and connect with me in real time and purchase merchandise. He had the same sentiments for his brand. I'm just like, man, rent is so high in Nashville. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, how can we, how can we get a space in Nashville and still be able to make some money? And so at the time, we were just like, what can we do? What should we do? And so like, we were just like, man, if we're having the same problem, how many other business owners are having the same problem as well? And so we came up with this cool idea to do a pop-up shop. That's what we were calling it at the time. It was like, let's call it Nashville Black Market, help other black-owned businesses. You know, let's try it out. We tried it out 2017, 2018. I get the times mixed up. My time is all over the place right now. But we ended up doing it, and we did it in a space in North Nashville. Like, man, it wasn't as big as all. It was a small space. We had 15 business owners inside the space, 2 food trucks, and it was a rough day. It was a rough morning before the start. Vendors kind of, they had their little stank face when they don't believe in something.
Yes, sir.
And most of them businesses sold out. Close to 1,000 people showed up that first day.
Man.
So it was only
First event.
But
it started out rocking.
Man.
Come on.
Didn't have a contract. The space was dirty. Like I could go on and on about how the day was. Had to go borrow a vacuum from my grandma. Like it was a rough day. It was a rough day. And we persevered. We pushed through and we kind of in the space where we are now, so kind of starting from there, going through different venues, churches, community centers, parks, like just trying and see what sticks. Then we got a residency at the Nashville Farmers Market, started working with different organizations, did some stuff at the fairgrounds, traveled and did some stuff. So it just kind of honestly kept growing as we kept putting feet to pavement.
I
like that, man. I like the fact that y'all just stuck with it, man. I love that, man.
He made me laugh about them stank faces.
We seen
a few of them.
We seen a few
when we did.
Yes, sir. Oh man, we seen a few.
We seen a few. That just goes to show, I think, Carlos, man. We'll probably get into it in the second half. That you can't please everybody.
No, you can't.
You can't please everybody, man. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar, but you really cannot please everybody.
Kendrick right on that one.
Right on that one. Especially when you're trying to, I feel like, service everybody. You're gonna miss it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely gonna miss it somewhere. But man, I just think just with what we doing and what Carlos is doing, it's funny how you get critics that'll critique you only because really they can't do what you doing. And I know you done faced that too. You know what I'm saying? Because with everything that's good in business and entrepreneurship, it is some stuff, man, that you know is gonna kind of ruffle your feathers again a little bit. And that poses a question for me, man. I know in your season right now, you're dealing with grief right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you got a family member, if you will, that just passed recently.
Yeah, my great grandmother.
Yes, sir. Our condolences first things first.
Yeah,
but I
for
definitely
real, yes.
wanted to get into the conversation of how, as an entrepreneur, do you grind and grieve? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like how do you? We've done it.
Yeah.
I know you done did it. How easy or hard, manageable, if you will, is it to grind and grieve?
It's not easy. It's a day by day process. You catch yourself trying to lose yourself in your work, or try to take your mind off of it by kind of searching for like progression and progress and success. In reality, it's like you masking your problems with like overcoming obstacles or like success. And it's hard to grieve. It's hard to continue to build while you're grieving. Even so, it's just like I had an event the same day I had the funeral. And so it's just like, do I pick the event or do I pick the funeral? And it's just like, in your mind, you like, anybody else's mind, you pick the funeral. But as a business owner and an entrepreneur, you're constantly like, but this is my business, this is how I eat, this is how I fund the things that I like to do. And so it's like you kind of like split yourself down in the middle of like, okay, yes, I'm going to respond, or yes, I'm going to make myself available for the time and moment, but I'm also going to try and figure out how to grieve and how to be there for my family, or how to like just be there for myself. And so it's something that you're navigating. It's something that you're like going through constantly. And so like last year I had maybe 2 people pass in my life, so I've been kind of navigating through it with like within this last year of just like grieving certain people that were a part of my like system, or a part of my journey in my life that helped me. Whether it wasn't in business, I had people that were like, I don't know anything about business, but I will be here for you as far as like your family and as far as like your energy to help you succeed in those ways. And so to be able to not have those same people, or to have those people to kind of go to that kind of made you, comfortable, or gave you solace when life, or when like business or like relationships weren't going the way that you needed them to, and now you're kind of like, okay, what do you go for comfort? What do you go for help, or like guidance, or like mentorship, or like how do you express those feelings and the emotions? So like grieving and like being in business is like it's extremely tough, because it's like there's no real blueprint outside of getting therapy, or like finding spaces to be comfortable in, and to be able to kind of communicate what you're feeling in the time and moment. Because as we know, the world is not going to stop because someone passed away. Your business is going to continue to grow. Your business is going to continue to go through things. People are going to continue to need you. And so what do you do when you don't feel like showing up, but you have to show up because other people are counting on you?
Yes, Lord.
And so that's the part about like grieving and being in business, is like which part, when do you pick the time to do the grieving, when the time do you pick to do the business? And so it's like they kind of match, and they mesh, they kind of going hand in hand. So it's like you start to see yourself taking and lashing yourself out in business versus on the other side. So it's like it's a triple beam balance in a sense.
Yeah, for sure. That was a great way to answer, man, because I think just as a black man, we got so many thoughts, so many, friend of mine said, so many tabs open in your head. That when grief creep up in there, man, it's hard to manage them tabs. It's hard to manage first Friday of the month. You know what I'm saying? When you and not necessarily grief in terms of, and you mentioned it, grief in terms of a death. Lost relationship, lost job, for some, lost a car, lost an object, if you will.
Lose an animal.
You know what I'm saying? So, grief really, man, I don't think in the community, in the culture, we talk about it enough. Because grief, when it is untreated, you have projected emotions.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, you could be in an industry, in a setting, in a business meeting where you may rat off a word or two that you probably didn't mean, but it's just so much up in here.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Out.
And
it's gonna come out somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready to ask you, because I heard you said that you have people that you talk to and this, that, and the third, and that's great, man. But you know, and I heard you say it was your great grandmama, and she was one of the people that raised you, right? Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough, man. That is tough. So, with that being said, who are the people that you know, if you don't mind sharing, like you've been able to, like really just get some of that off of you, man? Is it friends? Is it the wife? Is it the kids? If you have kids, you know, who is that person, man? Because I know for me, when I was going through that situation, man, and still deal with it sometimes, it's my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My wife done, that's my dog. That's my girl right there, man. She done been through that stuff with me, man. But when you get married, that's what you hope will happen. But not only her, I got brothers that I vent, you know, and let them know where I'm coming from also, because sometimes the woman can't understand what he just said, what goes on in a black man's head. Because when we walk out the door, man, you already a target. Boom. You know what I'm saying? You're already the target, dude. You know what I'm saying? So who is that person, man, for you?
Yeah, man, it's been like the topic of conversation for like the last couple months, maybe a year. But like you said, my wife definitely. But it's only so much that she can handle, and that can be put on her. So it's like, do you yourself? What do you do for yourself? Like, do you get yourself help versus you know putting so much of your problems and your struggles on somebody else when they're probably going through something similar or even worse, or you know. So therapy has been like a huge like lift. I just recently got back into it. I've been slacking on it just personally.
That's good.
Appreciate
That's good, man.
And so
That is
like
good. That is good.
That man, yeah, I'm glad to be back in it.
Yes.
Man, like friends wise, I have a few brothers that I can kind of call on. I'm learning personally myself who I can trust and when I can trust them, because like I said, everybody's going through something personally. So it's like you don't want to take certain things personal when they don't pick up the phone or they don't answer all the time. Maybe
because you just said they could be dealing with
something else too. But I think the biggest thing in transparency with friendships is being honest and being transparent. Yeah. Because if you're going through something, I may be able to help you go through the same. You know what I'm saying? We could be going through something very similar. And so like, I think especially with black men, I've been more open and honest probably within like the last 2-3 years with like my friends and my friendships, is like communicating how I feel at the time in the moment versus letting it linger off or letting it become a thing of where it's like aggression, you know what I'm saying, aggressiveness, or like just being there and being honest, man, being open, because I feel like it's a lot of us that want to be honest and open, but you feel like, oh, such and such gonna feel this way, you gonna feel like that, or we gonna, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna sound weird, or it's like, in reality, man, we ain't got time for that no more. We getting old,
come on, man.
Day by day, you know what I'm saying, we losing more people by the hour, so it's like, if I continue to kind of hold and ball up these emotions and don't continue to communicate how I feel, like people ain't gonna want to be around me, because I'm gonna get irritable. I'm gonna be this person that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm learning more and more about myself as I open up and, you know, just become more aware of my emotions and my feelings and the people around me too. So it's like I don't know. It's just something that I'm.
I think, hey, that was a great answer, man. Because right now, what I want to hit you with is, who introduced you to the therapy thing?
I went to therapy when I was younger. I was probably like 10. I don't know. I was young, and it was for like anxiety, nervousness. And I can't remember how long I went, but I was going to, it was a white guy, and I was just going there a couple times out of the month just to, you know what I'm saying, see him. And at the time I ain't really realize what it was. But I was being open and honest because I was a kid. I was still, you know, I didn't feel like I had something to protect or hide.
No boundaries.
No boundaries. So that was like my first journey and my first experience. And then as I got older, I started to see, you know, find a therapist when I went into couples therapy. And so I had my personal therapist, then my couples therapist. And I went through like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 different therapists after one of my therapists on like hiatus I've had. So it's just like I done went through them just to kind of find the person that I'm with now. And so like and that's the thing about, I think a lot of times we get caught up with therapy. It's like that first time you do therapy, it don't work out the way that you want it to, because it's like that person didn't match with you, it didn't mesh with you well. It's just like, go find another one. Go keep searching, keep looking. Just like finding a doctor or a dentist or any other profession that you're trying to, you know, kind of lock in with. And so like that's been my biggest thing with it, is just kind of staying with it, because you know you can get detoured and not do it no more. You can get upset, or it's expensive when you don't have insurance. Like it's so many different stats against it that make you not want to do it. Exactly. It's like, you know, the stigma of I don't want nobody in my business, or black people don't get therapy. But it's just like, man, we need God, we need therapy, we need, you know what I'm saying? We need all of it. It's just it's all working against us. So we got to find a way to work it out in between us.
Yes, I like that. Yes, sir.
Man, let's get into a good commercial break, man. I think it's a good time for it. Carlos Partee, man, one of the co-founders again of the Nashville Black Market, man, continuing to sweep through the city and sweep through the state, man. Make sure you guys support them every first Friday of the month, right? Yeah,
starting in March. March 2025. February we back with Black History Month, Super Bowl weekend. Make sure you tap in with us.
Super Bowl weekend.
Let's get into this commercial break, man. And as you guys know, mental health, man. We get more into Carlos' story, more into the venting, and more into his side of how he's overcome mental health struggles, man. Right after this commercial break. This is the Black Men Vent To podcast.
Yes, sir.
We back, man. We back.
Yes, sir.
Man, excited to be a part of you guys' new week, new year. 2025, man.
2025.
Black Men Vent To, man. Still the only. Last time I checked. Still the only.
That ONLY for those that can't spell.
For those that can't spell. Still the only Black Father and Son podcast in the state of Tennessee, man. If you're just now joining us, as we always say, you tripping. You tripping. Pops told you, man, stop going to the bathroom so much.
You be missing out on stuff, man. You go to the bathroom, just hold it for a little while. You know,
you be alright. Tap in, lock in with us, man. We got Carlos Partee, man, co-founder of the Nashville Black Market, man, out East native, man. Excited to have him.
From out north.
Out north. Oh, you know what? See, I'm gonna have to clip that up. I messed it up. Anybody that's from out north. Charge it to my head, not my heart, man. But shout out to the out East natives as well.
I live there with us, so it's all good.
Say no more. It's all Nashville love. Tapped in out here
a little while.
All love, man, from all sides of Nashville, man. Excited again to have Carlos Partee, man, be a part of our venting platform. Y'all know how we rock, man. We ask one question, man, to the guests, and kind of let them, man, essentially vent, you know, and talk about, man, their mental health and how they've overcome certain mental health things. Carlos, what would you like to vent about today on Black Men Vent To?
Man, I got a lot of things I want to vent about, but I don't know. Man, it's a lot of things I want to vent about. Just honestly speaking, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. I guess I want to vent about entrepreneurship. Yeah. Don't do it.
And I'm about to ask you a question. Is that for everybody?
Nah, it's not. It's not. I just recently made a post. I don't think entrepreneurship is for everybody. It can't be taught. It's got to be in you. You could be a business owner for sure, but I think it's a difference between business and entrepreneurship. Because I think some people might think I'm wrong or might say whatever, but I think when you think about entrepreneurship, you're thinking about an idea of something you're creating to help somebody fulfill a need or fulfill a purpose. And when you think about business, you kind of think in the same area of thing, but there's so many different businesses out there that they're just businesses, and they just in
Not
the
servicing,
business. They're not servicing, they just
yeah.
businesses.
They focus on income and not impact.
Right, exactly. And even with entrepreneurship, you want income, you want
sure.
impact
Absolutely.
as well. But I think most of the time you're creating something, you're thinking about like this microphone here. This is the entrepreneur made this. Amazon, somebody fulfilled a purpose, and you know you needed your packages to get to your house faster, quicker. You needed a service where you can shop online. Like you know, somebody creating something that's solving problems, solutions. And I think sometimes we mesh all those in between, and we're like, you know, this business, that business, which, you know, you're an entrepreneur if you kind of go out and you do it or whatever, you know, the case may be. But a lot of them are either businesses or, you know, serial entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs. So I think sometimes the lines get blurred, and I think it becomes a thing of where it's like just crowded, you know, it's overcrowded with the same types of businesses or the same types of things. And so that's not to say don't start your business, because start your business. Reach out to me, I help you start your business. But nah, it's different, I think, for sure. And I think just being in entrepreneurship it's tough. It's an everyday battle. Every day you're facing something new. So imagine you working for somebody and you going through the troubles and trials of working for somebody every day on the day. At the end of the day, if the company tanks or if something blows up or something, it technically isn't your fault. Or you're technically not at fault, or it's not going to be your responsibility to fix it or to replace it. But if you're the business owner, the entrepreneur, all that's your fault. The person that's on their clock, on their time, on their dime, wasting your money, or the bid like you spent, like all that's your problem. That's your time, and that's yours. And so I think it's a difference when people realize and they understand that, especially when they go into business, because they think business is just sweet and gravy. And I think the pandemic really, you know, changed their perception of like what entrepreneurship was, because it's just like, let me do something quick, let me get in the game and let me start something and let me rake some dollars in, but then realize that you got taxes, you got expenses, you got LLC, you got all that. Like, I don't even want to bring them up, because they get to start sending you emails and letters like, you said my name on that, show up like Candyman. You start so I don't even be, it's a lot to go along with this role, and, you know.
So true.
It ain't for the weak, dog.
I think you said it right, man, that being an entrepreneur, man, I think the first thing you should look at is how can you service the community, because that's what's gonna last. If you just starting a business, and you just said it, you got a clothing line, I got a clothing line, she got a clothing line. Which one gonna make it? Cause all of them doing the same in the same lane, and if you look at some of the stuff, it even look the same. It's just a different logo. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta. I think you gotta find. Just me personally, from the entrepreneurship journey that I'm on, you gotta find something that services the community. You just said it. Something that'll fix a problem or help alleviate a problem.
And I think too, though, man, cause it's podcasts out in Nashville, man. And for those of y'all that for sure, you know, kind of watch us on social media, we support everybody.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? And I think what you're saying, Carlos, is even if we have the same or similar ventures, you know what I'm saying, or similar business ideas, two Hondas can go down I-40 at the same time.
Correct.
And look,
one may be red, one may be blue. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
But same mission, same, you know what I'm saying? And I just think, instead of us looking at the blue Honda like, oh, them rims look funny. Oh, he missing the rearview mirror. Follow me here. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the goal in mind.
Journey.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
trying to
Instead
get
of
there.
lane switching and worry about, you know what I'm saying? And
trying to cut me out. Trying to knock me off the road. Why we doing this, man?
We both getting off Festus lane. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? I think we really do, Carlos, man. And I've just seen so many entrepreneurs vent about it in their own way. The entrepreneurial journey is really hard, not only to start it, but to have the support and the village to maintain it.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing, man.
100%.
Yeah, and I actually want to ask this, man. On a post that you made last year, you brought up the stat that is 10 plus, at least $10 billion of a tourist industry in Nashville. Is it the right stat, somewhere around there?
Somewhere around there.
Carlos, why we can't get a B or an M or a comma?
Yeah, just
let
me get a couple commas out here.
What we need to do, Carlos, man? Do we need to go to Capitol Hill? Do we need to what we need to do, man?
Yeah, man, I feel like it's a problem that we're all trying to figure out how to fix. Yeah. Especially in people that are in the industry, they're like, how do we get a piece of that? How do we get a piece of the pie? We see these businesses that are thriving that don't look like us, that are, in this corridor, whether it's downtown Nashville, Gulch, 12 South, 5 Point, like all these different places. And don't get me wrong, it's a lot of businesses that are struggling, a lot of businesses that have closed their doors in 2024. And it's going to be even more that's going to close in 2025. But I think the biggest thing is, how do we as a community of POCs, people of color, because it's not even just African American businesses that are closing every year, it's white businesses closing. Right. It's just, all different ethnicities are feeling the turmoil of entrepreneurship here in Nashville and business in general. I've seen so many businesses close this year. It's insane, and personally, it's going to take more than just a person like myself coming up with an idea to fix and change it, because it's bigger than us. It's bigger than the entrepreneurs. It's bigger than it's a city problem, or it's a state problem, because I can guarantee it's probably businesses in Memphis or Knoxville or Chattanooga that are going through the same thing of having problems staying afloat in business. And it's hard. It is very hard to be a business owner. You're accounting for so many different people, so many different things. People just think that it's just an Instagram, a website, and a logo, and you're good to go and off to the races. And everybody has their idea of like, oh, you should do this, you should try that, but not really realizing that it's still an overhead at the end of the day. Whether you're in the brick and mortar location, whether you're not, whether it's you need to change this or do that, you still have. You're against the 8-ball at the end of the day, and that's not to say it's not many businesses or any other businesses that are out there doing their thing. It's a lot of businesses that are staying afloat, and they have a really great business plan or a really great niche, or they're in a really great area. They're servicing certain people and certain demographics. True. And so I applaud them, and kudos to those businesses that are staying afloat, and continue to support your local businesses and the people that you feel like may need your support. But the thing about us is we got to work together. We got to figure out a way to work with the state and the local, like whoever the case may be, and we can dive into that too. But the biggest thing is we got to work together as a community to figure out how to support and help one another. A lot of times we get these new businesses that come from out of state, and they get all this attraction and glory, and which is really cool, because I like new businesses, and eventually one day I want to be a tourist in my own city. Like I want to be able to go into that and be in Nashville and feel like I can enjoy the fruits of my labor and also enjoy what Nashville has to offer, instead of having to feel like a tourist in my own city. And so those are the things that I wish for any and everybody as well too. So it's like, for us to be able to figure out how to get a piece of that, it's going to take more than an accelerator. It's going to take more than a cohort. It's going to take somebody actually putting their money where their mouth is, or it's going to take some people putting a plan together, putting some action together. And there's a lot of organizations that are, quote unquote, trying to do that or trying to figure out how to navigate that. But I think, one, we got to really look at the problem, look at the root. The issue, we can't have so many of the same businesses doing the same thing. Like you said, it can be red Hondas, blue Hondas, green Hondas, orange Hondas, but it's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. And so if we're continuing to create these businesses and create these and support these entrepreneurs, we got to have a place for them to thrive and to be molded in. They got to be able to make real money in real time versus just saying that we want to give people the chance to be a business owner, whether it's at the market or whether it's somewhere else. It's just like we also got to figure out a way for them to continue to thrive over the years, because if not, we're just starting businesses to close businesses. And that's not what I'm in the business to do. I want these businesses to survive and thrive. But if I'm not thriving, how can the next business
they thrive?
Yeah,
That's exactly right, man. And see, here's the thing. When businesses get successful, we need you to reach back and help somebody else get successful. Don't just stay on the top by yourself, because they get lonely. I know they say it don't, but it gets lonely. It gets lonely when you're up there by yourself. But if you got I know somebody say, well, I ain't gonna get lonely if I get there. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. But if you go with somebody, y'all can enjoy those fruits together and then start passing it on to somebody else, man. But if you here by yourself, you always looking around, because somebody out to get you, dog, because you out there by yourself. But if you got one back, I got the next back, then you can watch that way and I can watch this way, then we get two. Oh, we got it now. Now we got a thing where we working together, man. Now we know who to bring in. I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to bring him in. But if I'm out here by myself, I don't know who to trust. You know what I'm saying?
Man. 100%. I agree. You only can go as far as your team. So
you need a team, bro. Yes, you need a team, man. Some people that see the vision, man, and support the vision. And willing to support it financially, time-wise, effort-wise, commitment-wise, all of that, man.
I think being an entrepreneur takes a decent level of discipline too.
Oh, without a doubt.
Discipline and consistency, man. You know, it's people in Nashville that look forward to the first Friday of the month. You know what I'm saying? I just again, man, just give you your flowers, man, because we got a mutual friendship and whatnot. So I see other folks posting Nashville Black Market. It's just cool, man, to just see something that started off on paper, you know what I'm saying, and for it to blow into a true movement, man. Let me ask you this. During COVID, how was that? You know what I'm saying, with the Nashville Black Market? Obviously, we weren't doing the whole meetups at the farmers market, if you will, but just what was the dynamic like in terms of y'all keeping it afloat, making a little money? Like, how did that look during the pandemic time?
Nashville Black Market during the pandemic, we thought it was over, honestly. We resorted to online, basically the online subscription, trying to help businesses take their presence online, because a lot of times before then, everybody was hand to hand, word of mouth. So we were helping people get their digital footprint. And during that time, it was slow, it was tough. It was just like, what do we do? But we had this vision of like, we're going to come out of this. Once we come out of this, we got to hit the ground, roll, and we got to hit them in their mouth and keep going. And so honestly, during that time, we didn't have a residency at the farmers market. We were actually doing a market in Opry Mills, and this was like we did an Opry Mills market out in the one of those little complexes, and they had like a Trump rally next door. It was crazy. It was real.
Boy, I bet that was interesting.
It was very interesting. I had to propel myself in front of a car so they wouldn't ram through the market. Like, it was crazy. It was.
Oh wow.
For real?
Yeah, it was a crazy day. But I say that. We came out of the pandemic going into the farmers market. It was like it was a dream come true, honestly. It was able to kind of help us kind of go into the next step or the next vision and purpose of the black market. And so like, it helped us, on our journey, and it was for them to give us a home and a place to continue to serve as entrepreneurs, but also kind of bring back those memories in a time where you remember going to the farmer's market to shop with your grandparents, your parents, or just, that vibration there. So to be able to kind of help bring those moments and memories back to the farmer's market was a really good feeling for us to be able to
definitely did that too, man, because I remember being, a little bit older than y'all, man. I came to Nashville in '82, and our culture, that was one of the places that we gathered. That was one of my, like a Saturday event.
Yes, sir.
You go down there and spend a whole lot of time.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Just hanging out.
That was the mall.
Yeah, pretty much like the mall. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, man.
Get your greens, get your
Oh,
socks,
good.
get your
How
good
you did?
sweat.
Why did you just say that? Because I was so thinking, I know we was gonna get them greens. I didn't say it, but in my mind, I thought we would get them greens.
Yeah. This is a place for everybody.
Man. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this though. So, as y'all was going through the pandemic, man, and you said business was slow, mentally, how challenging was that, man? Because I know it had to be moments where y'all said, you know what, man, I'm about ready to cash this thing in and do something else, man. I don't know if we're gonna be, I don't know what this is. Did y'all ever have those thoughts, or were y'all so supportive of what y'all was trying to do that you just kept the faith and kept holding on and said, you know what, one day this is gonna break and we're gonna be ready when the break comes?
Yeah. So me personally, I've been an entrepreneur a full-time entrepreneur for the last couple of years. And so I've always been very optimistic about like my future, about like what I'm gonna do, when I'm gonna do, especially when my back is against the wall. I feel like I don't want to say this, but that's when I work the hardest.
Okay.
But it was definitely scary because I mean I'm a full-time entrepreneur now, and I still face those same trials and tribulations. Especially during the winter months, because you know that's when things get slow for a lot of businesses and just people in general, because it's holiday season. People want to say they're coins. But I think during the pandemic, it was one of those things of where it's like, you know, people are dying, people are getting sick, and it's like you needed something to hold on to. It's just like, hey, I need to make sure I have my mind right and be together when this does happen.
Yes.
And so maybe I can't remember, maybe I was going through therapy during that time, and I was just, you know, trying to pace myself and get myself together. But like, I think the biggest thing was knowing that, like, as a business owner myself, I'm going through this, so if other businesses are banking on their business to be their support or be the, you know, the claim to fame, I got to figure out how to make sure that it works. And so I feel like I take that upon myself too much. Is like if people are depending on me to, you know, make something happen for themselves. So like, I think that was the mentality going into it.
Right. Man, that's good though, man.
Nashville Black Market again, man. Y'all make sure y'all tap in throughout this year, man, for everything that they have to offer with what they're doing. But as we get ready to wrap up, Carlos, man, again, bro, thank you, man, for being real, being authentic, man, and being a guest on the show. We proposed a question, man, naturally we'll never have a platform, so we try to end with this question here, man. We put you in a scenario where there may be a young man that is has aspirations of being an entrepreneur, you know, and he's listened and heard your story, but having suicidal thoughts. He's thinking about checking out. He's heard your story, but just didn't resonate, just didn't hit. He tried a couple of entrepreneurial journeys. He tried to sell some t-shirts, sell some socks, whatever. Just wasn't working. You know what I'm saying? What could you, Carlos, with everything that you went through, gone through, and going through, to encourage this young black man, what could you tell him, man, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, to just encourage him, hey, bro, put that gun down, put that needle down, put them pills down. If I can do it, you can too.
Why you gotta be borderline about to go, man? You putting it on me to save this young brother, man.
Come on now.
I would tell him, don't do it.
Yes,
Don't do it, man.
Yeah.
It's so much more out there for you, bro. You've only seen half of it, man. This world got so much to offer. Life has so much to offer. Get outside of your comfort zone. Get outside of your box. And if it's hard for you to do that and think by yourself, then get around like-minded people that can help you continue to do it. Come to an event, go to an interview, go to, you know, shadow somebody. And if you can't do that, like, take some time with God. Go to God. Holler at God.
Yes,
He
sir.
can tell you exactly what you need to hear in the time and the moments. And if
Yes,
you can't
sir.
hear it right then and there, just be patient. Sit in it. Sit still. Like I said, a lot of the kids, a lot of the youth, they delayed because everything is right there at their fingertips. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you know, all those things. And it was a time and moment where we had to wait to be grown and wait to, you know, I remember growing up super fast as a young adult because I was like in that middle of like MySpace to Facebook to, so I remember
it was moving in, man.
Yeah. So I remember myself
yeah.
wanting to, you know, fake IDs and doing things I shouldn't have been doing. But I remember at a time and moment where it was people, you know, telling me to slow down and to pace myself and to get ready because life in general is tough. And so they got to know that. You got to know that in real time. Like, you going to fight obstacles, but what would life be if you didn't have obstacles? You would be no evil, would be no bad. You would just constantly be living, and you would, like, it's at your fingertips. You don't have no conscience, no you're deviant. So, right, exactly. And so, like, I think that's the biggest thing with these young adults is, like, having to understand and know that it's okay to have these feelings. It's okay to have grief. But you got to find a way to process, and you got to find a way to get through it. So many times where you feel like you want to give up as adults, as young men, as young women, whoever it may be. But you got to stay strong. You got to keep fighting. You got to be able to kind of understand and realize that it's going to be moments and times when everything ain't going to be working towards your favor.
So
and what do you do in that time and moment is going to be the determining factor of what you do for the rest of your life. And so, like,
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, man.
Good answer.
Sound like a one to me, my brother.
Carlos Partee, man, that's how we kicking off this year, man, 2025. Excited again to have him be a part of our platform. Carlos, man, let everybody know. We'll put it in our episode description, but social media handles.
We're looking forward to it, man. Yeah, looking forward to it.
You can follow me on social media at IM_Loso. That's IM_Loso, Loso Partee on Facebook. You can follow The Nashville Black Market, The Nashville Black Market on all social media platforms. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Carlos Partee. Man, tap in with me at www.carlospartee.com. Man, like I said, I appreciate y'all for having me on. I appreciate this. I appreciate the love. Oh yeah, follow me at LinkedIn, Carlos Partee. All my social media platforms, man. Follow me, tap in with me. I got some really cool stuff dropping in 2025. Make sure you stay tapped in with BMV. They're doing some really big things for the year, man. So if you ain't tapped in with them, please make sure you stay tapped in with them.
One more shout out, man. I don't want you to get in trouble. I've been doing it for 30 years. Shout out to the wife, man.
Oh man, shout out to my wife. If you watching, baby, thank you. Love you. Love you. Love you.
Any kids?
No kids.
Oh man, see, I'm gonna help you.
They got some work to do.
I'm gonna help you.
They got some work to do. Y'all got some work to do. Yeah. You catch it later on, you catch it now. Man. Black BFN 2, man. 2025, man. A great way, man, to kick off the year.
Man.
Carlos Partee, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Again, brother. Thank you for being a part of the
Thank you, man.
Let's get out of here, y'all. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. You can do what you can, and you can't with what you can't.
Nashville until next week, even in 2025. It's a wrap. Black man, don't get trapped.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I like that one.
Appreciate you, dog.
Yeah, man. That was on point, man. That was on point, my brother. Appreciate you, man.